Cheers. Soccer Senseis, Rodrigo Salazar, Elis and Rodrigo, Champions League. Tomorrow's big matchup is Juventus versus Atletico Madrid. And it's going to be a cracker, as they say, because if you look at both squads, they're playing very well. Juventus just beat AC Milan, my beloved AC Milan 1-0. And Atletico is playing very well. To me, they're the only squad that can take over Real Madrid in La Liga. So it's going to be a very tight match, but I think Juventus is going to win it just because they have so much midfield firepower, and Carlos Tevez has become the heir apparent to Andrea Pirlo out of nowhere. I mean, Carlos Tevez, to me, he should have. If Carlos Tevez would have played for the Argentinian national team in the World Cup, it would have been a very different outcome for the final against Germany. But I think Juventus is going to take this one. For me, Carlos Tevez was a difference maker for the Argentinian national team. There never was, unfortunately, for the World Cup. So, I just think Carlos right now is playing very, very well, and it's going to be hard to contain him. And also Arturo Vidal is back to his form from 2 years ago, where he was one of the best players in Serie A. So, what do you think, Ellis? I mean, who's going to win this game?
Yeah, they're looking to retain Tevez. They're looking to offer a new contract with Rodrigo. And we also know that they were able to keep Vidal and Pogba, which was a great sign that Juventus is keeping up this track record of keeping their stars. I think Atletico needs all 3 points. They lost to Olympiacos last time around. Meanwhile, Juventus might just go with a draw. Be happy with a draw at El Calderón.
I mean, you have Arturo Vidal as a defensive midfielder that he plays in that role. Also Pogba, who's a monster. He's such a great player. And if you look at the Atletico midfield, there's no one creator there. So it's kind of interesting how they've been able to do so well without having a traditional creative midfielder up front. Feeding the likes of Mandzukic, Jimenez, and Griezmann, who are great strikers. But again, if they're not being fed by the right people, then it's going to be kind of hard. Atletico scores a lot off of set pieces and corner kicks, which you have to be lucky to get those. And I think Juventus is going to be savvy enough to stop that. Our friend Allegri is doing pretty well with Juventus, but again, it's Juventus. I mean, they're a great squad, and they can hurt you in so many different ways. What do you think about that, Ellis?
I think it'll be a draw, Rodrigo. I don't think Atletico would let all 3 points slip, even though I see them as favorites, second place to come out of this group. Juventus, as you mentioned, they're a team on the rise. They now know who their dual strike partnership is, Carlos Tevez and a player who knows La Liga very well, Llorente. So I'm expecting a really hard-fought game. I give it a 2-2 scoreline. I think we'll see a few goals. But Atletico's high tempo and high pressure will keep Andrea Pirlo in the top. Usually Andrea Pirlo does not perform well under extreme high pressure.
Yeah. And for me, I think it's going to be 1-0 to Juventus. I just think, like I said, they have too much firepower, and they're going to find a way to score because they have so many weapons creatively and also up front. Tevez, as you mentioned, Llorente, Vidal can score, Pogba. So there's a lot of things that can happen there with the scoreline. But I think it's going to be 1-0 to Juventus. Okay, guys, enjoy the game tomorrow, and thank you for joining us on Soccer Senseis. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you, Snapple. All right, cheers.